The Legends of Runeterra spoilers continue to roll in from the upcoming Call of the Mountain set that's scheduled to release on August 26th. We didn't get a champion reveal today, but the Runeterra team did drop a few more cards from the next set into our lap. It looks like the schedule for spoilers is shaping up to be that we'll get spoilers every day, but we'll only get to see champions from the next set every other day, along with additional cards spoiled with those champions, with any new keywords from the next set also being spoiled in between on the days we don't get to see new champions. It also looks like spoilers will once again be revealed by region, because all the cards shown today are from Ionia, and all the cards from the last 2 days were from the new region, Targon. Anyway, today we'll be talking about the cards that were spoiled today, and as always, I'll be giving some additional thoughts on the cards revealed and what decks they could possibly fit in. Before we jump in, if you like the content and want to see more, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future coverage from me. I just want to give a quick shout out to Cosmic for putting together this graphic showing all the cards spoiled today. Cosmic has been doing a lot for the Legends of Runeterra community and has been around since the beginning. Be sure to check out Cosmic's Twitch channel at the top right, as well as a link to the YouTube channel that will also be on a card in the top right of the video. Now, let's jump into the cards, starting off with Flower Child. Flower Child is a 1 mana 1/2 unit, and when it reads, when I'm supported, grant me +2/+0. So, if you guys can't tell, most of these spoilers today build on the support mechanic that Riot seems to be showing love to in this next set, based on the previous spoilers we've gotten so far. For those new, I did a video on all the new cards revealed so far up until this point, the new champion Tarek, the spell shield mechanic, and shared my thoughts on everything, including talking about the new release schedule. I'll leave a link to that in the upper right corner of this video as well to watch that, and you'll see exactly what I mean by showing the support mechanic some additional support, if you will. Anyway, this card has a decent stat line, but the real draw is in the ability. We don't know the rest of the cards yet, other than the Targon cards that were spoiled so far. And while this card is good with Tarek and some of those support cards, I think it might be even better in Demacia. And that's because of 2 words: War Chefs. Imagine going second, playing this turn 1 into War Chefs on turn 2, and just attacking with a 2/3 and a 4/3. There are starts in the game right now that are more aggressive than that, but they are few and far between. Of course, there's Shen as well, since this is in the same region, and maybe the barrier deck will adjust to run both this and Greenglade Caretaker, because I don't think that deck wants to cut Caretaker for this card. I could even see this in some type of Piltover and Zon support deck with Intrepid Mariner to give this Elusive, or even Kato to make this a 6/2 overwhelm. But in the case of Mariner, you usually want some other card to protect the Mariner as well, because it's so underwhelming as a unit. The +2 buff this grants itself is even permanent. Regardless, this is definitely not a card you want to build an entire deck around. It'll be more of a role player no matter what deck it's in, if it finds a deck, that is. Next we have Young Witch. This is a 2 mana 1/1 with Elusive, and the support ability, give my supported ally quick attack and +1/+0 this round. Okay, this just seems like an overall better version of Legion Drummer from Noxus, which is the 2 mana 3/2 that also has a support ability that just grants quick attack, but has no other abilities or keywords. The fact that this is elusive means Young Witch has a much better chance of staying safe while using its support ability, since elusive units are much more difficult to block. I'm pretty sure this will be a core card in any Ionia deck looking to abuse support units, whether that's with Shen or otherwise. Pairing this with Demacia seems like a natural fit, because Demacia is full of Challenger units, and Challenger has excellent synergy with quick attack, as Legion Drummer and Trifarian Glory Seeker have proven. We've even seen it in decks like Lee Sin Draven that play Sonic Wave on Draven to give him Challenger, allowing him to kill smaller units basically for free. I love this card, and I think if it doesn't find a home in a deck, it won't be because this card is bad, but it'll be because Ionia support decks are bad. Up next we have Tasty Feifolk. This is a 3 mana 4/2 unit with Lifesteal. So this card doesn't look impactful, at least not on its own. My first thought was that this is a Deadbloom Wanderer that can be played in decks not looking to go deep with sea monsters. But after giving it some thought, this card seems more like a payoff card for support style decks. I could see this pairing very well with Tarek, granting this tough while attacking. In fact, this would need to be paired with cards that give this abilities that make this either difficult to remove or difficult to block. So the Young Witch we just looked at is a good candidate. Of course, Shen is, once again. Intrepid Mariner is another, but again, you need additional cards to help protect the Mariner as well, in my opinion. Even War Chefs could be fine, but I think that's slightly weaker than most of the other options I mentioned. At absolute worst, this can be a tech card that slower Ionia decks can use to improve their aggro matchups, since this is a bit faster than Spirit's Refuge. Although you could argue Spirit's Refuge is still a better card due to it being a burst spell and it usually targeting a big unit to gain a lot of health. Up next we have Swell Squirrel. This is a 4 mana 3/4 unit with strike, double my power. Disclaimer, I am not a furry. This is the best art in the set so far, but again, I am not a furry. All right, back to business. I think the stat line is decent for a 4-drop, given that the trend for 4-drops in ranked has been to run 4 mana units with lower stats in favor of the abilities on those same units. So this will actually get past a few units of the same cost. Grizzled Ranger doesn't kill this, and neither does Vanguard Bannerman. Now, this is the type of unit that I think you would have to run in a support deck if you want to continue getting value from it, because you'll need to keep protecting it with health buffs or abilities like Tough or Barrier. But you don't have to use it that way. I could see decks just running this as their 4-drops so they can curve out smoothly with units into the mid game. If you think about it, there aren't a lot of good 4 mana units in Ionia, and the ones that are good only fit in very specific decks like Yasuo, Kenko Wayfinder, and even Ren Shadowblade to a certain extent, although he's a bit more flexible, at least in theory. This might be the first 4-drop that Ionia can just play and forget about it, making it pretty good. And finally, we have Fuzzy Caretaker. This is a 4 mana 3/3 that reads, when I'm supported, give me +0/+3 this round, and has a support ability where it gives my supported ally +3/+0 this round. Unlike Swell Squirrel, this 4-drop is a bit more of a payoff card, though not quite on the level of Tasty Feifolk. You can use this to support other cards only and not care about the rest of the text, but then I feel like you're only using half the card and not the full card. Also, unlike the other cards on this list, I think that this will probably work best with Tarek in a Targon support deck, just because the Targon cards we've seen so far grant permanent buffs to their units, and I don't think this particular combination of abilities and stat line on a card that only grants temporary buffs is enough to justify running it outside of Targon. While the previous cards in this list could all be used to decent effect outside of Targon due to them either having elusive or lifesteal, or a permanent buff or slightly higher stats than usual for their cost relative to ranked play. This is the second best art in the set so far. It has that going for it. Disclaimer, let me remind you once again that I am not a furry. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this look into the Ionia cards spoiled today. If you did, feel free to leave a like, as it really helps me out and gets this video out there to others in the community. If you don't want to miss future coverage of the new set from me, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell below to make sure you know when the next video goes live. Feel free to check out the other places you can find me on the internet in the video description box below. You'll find my Twitter, Twitch channel, and we have a community Discord as well that you can join. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this, and I'll see you next time. Take care.